Okay, we're back to panel number 12. It's the fourth panel for today's panel. We'll be discussing during this panel something that I'm very interested in, is one of my focus. It's one of the things that I study more. So I will be moderating this panel. The panel is called Coach Education, How to Decide Which Option is Best. For now, we have with us Todd Beane. We should have Tony Waiters and Jurgen Pforr. Jurgen, I believe that is having some issues with his mother, so I don't believe he's attending. But Tony, I believe that Tony would or should get in a few minutes. Either way, I will start our panel with Todd, and we can go from there, okay? So I'm going to introduce Todd in so we can start.
Hi, Ricardo.
Hello, Todd. Thank you very much for joining us and to of accepting our invitation. For me, it's a big pleasure to have the opportunity to talk with you. I wasn't expecting to be only the two of us, but either way, I believe that we can set up a wonderful conversation. Thank you again, Todd, for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time and the invitation. More than happy to chat.
Okay, so first let me give some small introduction about Todd. Todd Beane is recognizably worldwide as a thought leader on talented activation. Todd Beane is also the founder of TOVO Training and TOVO Academy Barcelona. I imagine there is much more to say about him. Either way, I believe that Tony will get in soon. Tony Waiters is a former England international football goalkeeper and former Canadian national football team head coach. We should have also Jurgen, and this panel will be perfect if we had the four of us. Jurgen is the General Secretary of the Alliance of the European Football Coaches Associations and also the Vice President of the German Football Coaches Association. So I divided these conversations in three big topics, okay? We will talk first about the certification courses, the coaching certification courses, and about also a bit about the certification system of the coaches. Then we'll going to talk a bit about the continuous education, that kind of education that coaches should should receive to improve themselves as professionals. And finally, we'll talk a bit about how to deliver education, the format to deliver education. So my first question, it's not for Todd, it's for our audience. And I would like our audience to write on the chat box, what do you think that is missing in the certification courses, okay? Some of the subjects that I will discuss here are a bit, well, may be hurting some sensibilities, but either way, I'd like you guys to write on the chat box, what do you think that is missing in the certification courses? So my second question is to Todd. Todd, do you believe that the certification courses in Spain, I believe that you live there for quite some time, I believe that you already know how the courses are working over there. And I'm talking specifically about the level D and C, UEFA D and C. Those courses that have been delivered by the Spanish FA and the different provincial institutions. Do you feel that they are adjusted with the specific needs of today's
I think, I can't speak for all regions of Spain. As you mentioned about the provinces throughout Spain, the independent autonomous regions of Spain. Oh, and I see Tony is joining us here, so that's a fantastic addition to have Tony with us. So let me finish the conversation, then you can take a moment to
Tony,
I think the autonomous regions are offering a pretty credible programs, be it now some online programs through the presential programs, and they're taken quite seriously. I think they're a great platform for a young coach's development, and then give them obviously greater opportunities to go in more depth. So I would say, with respect to Catalonia, I think the federation has come a long way in the last 10 years in making those courses accessible, meaningful, and I think even importantly, practical to those coaches who are on a pathway to coaching youth.
Mhm. And Todd, here in Portugal, I'm very close to both the FA and the coaches institution, coaches association in Portugal, and the programs. Well, we say that why we have good Portuguese coaches working almost everywhere. It's because the education is being well delivered. You know, the contents are adapted, but we also feel that uh, things are evolving very fast, and sometimes looks like there's always something missing on the courses. Okay, do you think there is something missing on the courses?
Well, I think you raise a good point, because when you establish an institution, administrative institution like a federation, it ends up maybe not being as innovative or as quick to respond to market changes as you mentioned. It's very difficult to do so. I don't say that to blame anybody in any federation worldwide, but we be honest, they're larger administrative organizations. And so to adapt quickly to nuances in the market, new technologies, to adapt to new playing information or pedagogical science or research that comes in is quite difficult for a federation to do. So I think the people within the federation do their best to do that. But I think your comment is an astute one, that how quickly can they innovate as opposed to private enterprise or club enterprises that are really pushing the envelope of talent development. So my feeling is that oftentimes good clubs have good individual coaches or good colleagues in specific fields within football development, may be a few steps ahead of a federation that's trying to organize a massive group of coaches in a given region. Again, that's me editorializing, but I don't find it as a fault of a federation. I find it that structurally that's more difficult than individual innovation coming from cutting edge on the ground as it unfolds in real time to those competitors that need to put that innovation into practice.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Tony, we're talking about the certification courses, the courses that deliver certification and the license for the coaches to work. I would like to ask you the same question that I asked Todd, but about the courses, the certification courses delivered in Canada. Do you believe that there is room for improvement in those courses in Canada, Tony?